Nadia Comaneci confirms what we knew all along. Nadia Comaneci is a name that embodies Eastern European athletics. Her talent and drive have secured her place in Romanian history, as well as the admiration of people across the world. She stands out amongst athletes for exuding athleticism and poise all at once. From gymnastics to soccer, Eastern Europeans are renowned for their excellence in sports. However, no one eclipses Nadia. Nadia's name is written in golden letters on the pages of gymnastics history, and for good reason. She was the first to ever rack up a perfect 10 out of 10 score at an Olympic competition, as well as garner 5 individual gold medals. Although her journey to fame was just as compelling as her athletic accomplishments, she faced many highs and lows along the way. Let us uncover this amazing woman's story. From Romania. Born in the Carpathian city of Anesti, Romania, Nadia was an energetic child who seemed to be constantly buzzing with energy. She often spent her days bounding around the garden and home with overflowing enthusiasm. In order to put this remarkable vigor into good use, the mother discovered a creative solution, one that would direct Nadia's vitality in a productive direction. Nadia's mother wanted her daughter to have the opportunity to flourish, so she enrolled her in gymnastics lessons. Initially, Mom thought it would only tire out Nadia. However, contrary to expectation and delightfully surprising everyone involved, including herself, little Nadia was enamored with the sport. She trained diligently whenever possible and found true joy in jumping, running, and dancing around. In a nutshell, all those hours of practice turned into pure love for this magnificent activity. Climb slowly. On her first day of class, Nadia felt an immediate connection. It was as if she had found the purpose for which she was meant to live, a true calling in life. As Nadia happily embraced this newfound passion, it became clear that her mother's choice to direct and guide her daughter's overflowing energy into something productive had been the correct decision after all. From then on out, there was nowhere that little Nadia enjoyed being more than inside the classroom, learning and exploring new possibilities. As a child, Nadia loved the intensity of summer schooling and challenging physical workouts. Yet, what began as a lively passion eventually became her life's calling: gymnastics. It's unusual to recognize your purpose in life at such an early age, but those who do are incredibly fortunate since they have that extra advantage over others. Meeting with Bella Karoli. As a child, Nadia energetically enjoyed activities such as cartwheels and playtime with her pals. Little did she know this period of joy was quickly coming to an end. She was about to encounter someone who would profoundly alter the trajectory of her life. Unbeknownst to young Nadia, this individual saw potential in her unlike anyone before him, thus setting off a chain reaction that allowed for the most positive evolution in all aspects of her being. The decision-maker's arrival proved undeniably beneficial for the remainder of Nadia's life journey. By a twist of fate, the girl crossed paths with renowned Romanian gymnastics trainer Bella Karoli. He and his wife continued to nurture the sport and foster budding young talents, Nadia being one of them. Her physical prowess was even evident in her playtime activities. For this reason, Karoli took an interest in young Nadia's potential. He knew that she had something unique within her, thus why he strived to give her the best training available. Don't let it down. Every day, Bella and Nadia dedicated 3 hours to their training regimen. Bella was determined to bring out the best in Nadia, so he put forth extra effort when it came to her individual workouts. Fortunately for both of them, his gym happened to be conveniently located next door from where she lived, cutting down on travel time and allowing them to maximize efficiency during their sessions. Starting out was tough for Nadia. As it is with all things, her initial amateur competitions didn't always end in victory, but Bella stuck by her side and kept supporting her every step of the way. Gradually, she became better at what she did and trusted herself more, driven to improve further still. She grew stronger each day until eventually mastering it completely. First match. As the saying goes, it's never too early or late to start. And this certainly rings true for Nadia. At just 7 years old, she entered her first competition, the 1969 Romanian Junior National Championships, finishing 13th place as a novice. We can only imagine how full of life and energy she was. Her trainer, Bella, had faith in Nadia since day one. What came next would be an incredible journey ahead of them both. Despite her lack of success in the competition, Nadia refused to become discouraged. Instead, this first failure only seemed to fuel her motivation even further, and she redoubled her efforts in training. The following year, those hard-earned results paid off as she achieved first place at just 8 years old with masterful flair. Her trainer quickly realized that Nadia was destined for international greatness and would soon be championing the field. Senior fitness. At the young age of 14, Nadia had already honed her skills to an unprecedented level. So much that she was able to compete in senior competitions and outshine those who were considerably older than her. Her mother beamed with pride at her daughter's accomplishments, believing that there would only be more success ahead for Nadia as she continued on a path of greatness rarely seen among girls of such youth. As soon as Nadia entered the world of senior competition, she earned 5 medals at both the European Championships and U.S. Tandem Cup. However, these were merely a prelude to her greatest goal, representing her country in the 1976 Montreal Olympics. Everyone watched with bated breath to view what remarkable feat she would achieve on an international stage. The Kiss with Bart. In March 1976, Comaneci stepped onto the court at Madison Square Garden for the first American Cup. There, she encountered another future champion, Bart Corner. Even though her career had only just begun, a young Comaneci was already defying expectations and achieving extraordinary heights in gymnastics, all thanks to her mentor who recognized her potential and worked tirelessly to foster its greatness. When 14-year-old Nadia, the Romanian champion, took to the stage to receive her trophy, an American photographer requested 18-year-old Corner, a blonde gymnast standing beside her, to lean over and kiss the victorious athlete. Unbeknownst to most in attendance that day was that both competitors already had tender feelings for one another. However, this momentous smooch before all of the spectators only solidified those emotions further. The road to Montreal. Ahead of the July 1976 Olympics, Nadia was determined to dominate. Her talents and accolades were not unnoticed by the international gymnastics community, yet they would never anticipate what she was truly capable of achieving. Within her simmered an unrelenting passion for greatness. Little did anyone know just how monumental a name she would make for herself. When Nadia Comaneci stepped onto the court, even she was not aware of what would transpire. Despite her bravura and dexterity on the mat, anxiety and apprehension still bubbled within her due to unfamiliarity with this higher level of competition. But as soon as the match began, it became obvious that an extraordinary feat was about to take place, one which would be remembered for generations. In Montreal, Canada, at the 1976 Summer Olympics, history was made by none other than our heroine, Miss Comaneci. The elusive 10. Gymnasts are rarely awarded a perfect 10 during their performances until the Olympic Games of 1976, when Nadia Comaneci achieved this milestone. Her stunning victory changed gymnastics forever and solidified her place in history as Romania's most famous athlete. The perfection she displayed on the mat that day was just a preview of what would be an incredibly successful career for her after achieving such a remarkable feat. Nadia's opening gymnastics routine was a sight to behold. We had never witnessed such graceful movements. Her technique was simply perfect, leaving the judges in awe, and with no other option but to honor her performance with an unprecedented 10 score. This remarkable feat made history. Yet Nadia still wasn't finished. She then proceeded to receive 6 more unblemished 10s, further cementing her legacy as one of the greatest Olympic athletes ever. Get a theme song. As the young Romanian woman's astonishing performance at the Olympics spread across each and every corner of the world, her popularity skyrocketed. The ABC show Wide World of Sports TV featured sports journalist Robert Rigger to highlight a few excerpts from Nadia's riveting participation in the competition, an act that left her feeling incredibly grateful for all the recognition she was receiving. As her performance reached cinematic heights, time seemed to stand still, while Cotton's Dream theme song from Bless the Beasts and the Children played in slow motion. The repeat airings of Nadia's iconic routine catapulted this composition into one of 1976's top 10 singles, earning it an official title, Nadia's Theme Song. Little did she know that with each move and every perfect score, she would be reaching greater success than ever imagined before. An explosion in popularity. Nadia caused a sensation throughout the gymnastics world and beyond. In 1976, she was bestowed with an esteemed honor as Overseas Sports Personality and Female Athlete of the Year by the BBC, which not only bolstered her self-esteem, but also gained her unprecedented popularity in Romania and around the globe. Her photo made a huge splash, especially gracing the cover of Time magazine. It was an incredible honor for the young athlete. Upon coming home to Romania, she received a hero's welcome from her government and was celebrated as an esteemed individual. Nadia instantly became revered throughout all of Romania, even receiving several gifts and accolades from her government in recognition of her success. Unfortunately, however, these glorious moments didn't last forever. Things started going downhill soon after that. It went downhill. From a distance, it seemed that Nadia's life was flawless and ideal. Nevertheless, those who were closer to the peak of gymnastics recognized this wasn't real. Her story had much more than what could be seen in vivid glitters and awards. Behind closed doors lay battles she fought every day, with her family situation being at its core. Yet no one knew how hard she was struggling until everything slowly started tumbling apart. Nadia's parents were on the brink of disaster, and it was almost unbearable for her to watch. Unhappily, their marriage unraveled right before her eyes as she barely had enough time to process it all. Understandably, this transition profoundly hurt Nadia. No child wants to witness a splitting family when everyone's looking in. To make matters worse, Nadia was forced away from Bella, the trainer whom she had held dear, and needed to search outside of her comfort zone to another one that best fit with her goals. What an arduous experience. Suicide attempt. At merely 15 years old, Nadia felt overwhelming unease from the events she had experienced. She was no longer just a young girl, but rather an individual with her own personality. Yet the internal strife within her family caused her mental health to deteriorate so much that it became impossible for her to cope anymore. The more the situation gained attention in media outlets, and therefore increased public scrutiny of Nadia's life, left her feeling incredibly trapped and inhibited. The stress from the media and government, which had initially been barely noticeable to Nadia, eventually became too much for her. She attempted suicide but failed. Fortunately, the Romanian officials then reassigned her back to Bella's training program, which provided a glimmer of hope in restoring some sense of normality in her life. Success in adolescence. As Nadia had reached puberty, the Romanian government strongly encouraged her to take a break from gymnastics so that she may experience life away from the spotlight. As young athletes tend to excel in their sport when they're small, it seemed like an appropriate decision, and one which Nadia appeared and needed greatly. She obliged and put sports on pause as she embarked on enjoying a typical teenage lifestyle. Within a short amount of time, Nadia gained several centimeters in height. Nonetheless, she found it tough to stay away from the gym and continued competing regardless. Her enthusiasm for gymnastics was unparalleled. This enabled her to collect medals for Romania. It became obvious that Nadia's destiny was intertwined with gymnastics. Nothing could stop her, not even puberty.